Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Curious Conversations. Today, we're diving into something a little spooky. Ever wonder if zombies could actually exist in real life?
Can you help me?
Zombies? Like the flesh-eating, brain-hungry ones from movies? I mean, I've always thought they were pure fiction. But is there any truth to them?
Well, what if I told you that nature has its own version of zombies, and they're a lot closer to reality than we might think? And I'm not just talking about Halloween costumes.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking about real-life zombie bugs or something? I feel like I'm about to learn something super creepy.
Exactly. There's actually a fungus out there that can turn insects into literal zombies, controlling their brains and movements. It's straight out of a horror movie, but it's 100% real. Take a look.
I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep.
No way! This is going to be wild. Okay, I'm all in. Let's dive into the world of zombie insects. And maybe, we'll even get to whether humans could be next. Are zombies even biologically possible?
You're not the only one who's wondered that. After watching zombie movies or shows, it's hard not to think, could that ever happen in real life? It's a pretty common thought, actually.
Totally. But when did this fascination with zombies even begin?
I can't.
Well, believe it or not, zombies as we know them didn't really become a big deal until the late 20th century. Sure, the fear of the undead goes way back, even to the ancient Greeks, but the concept of zombies we think of today comes from 17th century Haiti. Voodoo doctors used a toxin from pufferfish that could paralyze people and make them appear dead. There were even reports of these so-called zombies rising from their graves.
That's wild. But we know now that it was all because of the toxin, right? So, no actual undead were walking around?
Exactly. It was the pufferfish toxin causing the paralysis, but at the time, it must have been terrifying. What's even more fascinating, though, is that zombies do exist in nature, just not in humans.
Wait, what do you mean by zombies in nature?
Yeah, it's creepy but true. There are creatures like that Ophiocordyceps fungus I mentioned earlier, which takes over insects' minds. Within a few days of infecting them, it forces the insect to climb up somewhere high and safe, and then the fungus bursts through the insect's body to release spores. And it's not just fungus. Some worms can control their hosts, and then there's the jewel wasp, which injects neurotoxins into a cockroach, turning it into a living food source for its offspring.
That's insane. So if those types of zombies exist in nature, does that mean humans could become zombies?
Well, sort of, but it depends on what you define as a zombie. There have been cases like those Haitians poisoned by pufferfish toxins, and even some rare medical conditions that make people act like zombies. For instance, Cotard's syndrome makes people believe they're dead or decomposing.
Wow, that's intense. But what about the zombies we see in movies? The ones rising from the dead and attacking people. Could those ever be real?
No, not at all. The idea of a clinically dead person rising from the grave to mindlessly hunt others just isn't biologically possible. CPR can reanimate someone, sure, but they're not coming back craving human flesh.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So even though there are zombie-like creatures in nature, human zombies as we imagine them are a no-go?
Pretty much. Even in nature, those zombies aren't technically dead. They're just being controlled by something else. Plus, it's usually temporary, like with those zombified cockroaches that eventually return to normal, unless a wasp's larva has eaten them from the inside out.
Yikes, that's dark. So it really depends on how you define a zombie, huh?
Exactly. If you stretch the definition enough, you could argue that some form of zombies exist in nature. But if you're thinking about the classic Hollywood zombies, we're out of luck. Whether they'll exist in the future, though, that's another question entirely. Well, there you have it. Zombies might not be breaking out of graveyards anytime soon, but nature sure has its own creepy ways of making zombie-like creatures.
Yeah, real-life nature seems to be scarier than any Hollywood movie sometimes. Who knew there were, so many ways things could turn into zombies?
Exactly. So the next time you see a bug acting a little weird, you might want to keep your distance. It might be under someone else's control.
Thanks for that disturbing thought. But seriously, I've learned so much today. Who knew fungi could be so fascinating, huh?
Right? Science never disappoints. If you're as hooked as we are on weird and wild facts, make sure to hit that subscribe button.
And don't forget to drop a comment with your wildest zombie theory. Maybe there's a future episode in it.
Until next time, stay curious and try not to turn into a zombie.
Yeah, stay safe, everyone.